was recently in New York City and had a chance to have dinner with an old friend of mine. And this old friend of mine, he was friends with my sister long before that, and he became a good friend of mine. And he happens to be born and raised in New York City, as well as a New York City police officer for the last couple decades. And as I talked with them, we kind of just exchanged stories of the past and things like that. But it came up, this conversation about the Supreme Court case, the Second Amendment case, New York Rifle and Pistol Club versus Corlett. And I really kind of wanted to know, what is it the New York City police think about this? Like, if the Supreme Court was to open up constitutional carry in New York City, what does the police department think of this? Is this something they're thinking, this is terrible? Is it a good idea? And talking to him, I just say that he's a hardcore New Yorker, Irish, Catholic, very typical New York City police officer, and I think he kind of fits in that typical category of a New York City police officer. And his first response is, it would make it a lot better. He literally was very passionate. This would be a lot better on the police officers if they allowed constitutional carry. If law-abiding citizens were allowed to carry, then the whole city would be significantly safer, and their jobs would be much, much easier, because the gun crime would go down as we see it going up in New York City and up in Chicago and up in LA, and going down in the major metropolitan areas that do allow constitutional carry, like St. Louis, Kansas City, Memphis, Nashville, Miami. I mean, go on and on and on of the major metropolitan cities that do allow constitutional carry. But yet, here we are dealing with this. So I just found this fascinating. And as I kind of asked him further, like, well, why? And he said, well, let's just say you were carrying right now at this restaurant. This restaurant would be safer because you are here. And he goes, now granted, I'm here too, so it's double as safe. If something happened here, and I was the only one and I just said, Mark, stand back while I go handle this, I'd be much better off if you were also carrying. We'd have a lot more success, as well as everywhere you'd go, you just kind of, criminals would wonder, is there somebody here that might be carrying? And as what we saw recently in New York City, it's not a pretty sight going on with the problems we have with the crime. So just wanted to make this out. A lot of people have not actually spoken to New York City police officers and said, what do you think about this? And I think it's fascinating to hear this response. So any insight on this, if you're a police officer in New York City, love to hear your insight, or LA or Chicago for that matter. Put in the comments below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe.